A nuclear convoy in the UK moves as if ambush is certain. It's built to survive the first 60 seconds when chaos is loudest and mistakes are fatal. Most people think it's just armored trucks, but the real shield is invisible. Sensors, decoys, and disciplined choreography. Here's what actually happens when trouble starts. We're focusing on open source detail, UK-only practice, and the technology you can verify. The threat is small arms harassment, a staged roadblock, or drones carrying improvised devices. There's one piece of kit that decides whether the convoy stops or punches through. We'll get to that once you understand the threat logic. Section 1. Threat model and ambush mechanics in the UK context. In the UK, adversaries vary. There's the lone actor with limited training but strong intent. There's the small cell capable of simple coordination. 2 cars, a drone, a staged crash. And there are organized criminal proxies more interested in disruption than martyrdom. Intent dictates risk, but capability decides how long they can sustain contact. The CNC plans for both. Ambush points appear where movement is forced. Choke points, blind bends, overpasses, and temporary roadworks compress a convoy, limit sight lines, and slow decision time. Route denial assessments matter here. The planning team will map pinch points and build alternates. But in a network of A-roads and laybys, some exposure is inevitable. Attackers favor stop the convoy tactics, a fake road traffic accident at a bend, a burning vehicle under an overpass, spike strips thrown from a verge, drones flying low as distraction, or loitering higher with a payload. The principle is simple: halt the prime carrier and fix the convoy's arcs. Once static, it's vulnerable to envelopment and psychological pressure. CNC doctrine, publicly stated, is clear. Protect life, deny access to nuclear material, and maintain control of the scene. That's not just ethics, it's operational necessity. The convoy cannot be boarded, and it cannot be isolated from support. So the first minute is a fight to preserve mobility or to harden in place, fast. Immediate danger is triaged. Vehicle-borne threats sit at the top, anything that can close distance and deliver mass quickly. Standoff fire is tracked and suppressed if it degrades mobility or threatens life. Drones overhead is treated as both sensors and potential weapons. They're contested early to prevent precision against the carrier. Communications run on an encrypted convoy net with redundancy. Airwave interop links CNC to local police, allowing rapid tasking of roads policing, armed response vehicles, and, if airborne assets are up, coordinated overwatch. Call signs, brevity codes, and status colors compress language under stress. One voice manages contact, others report succinctly. Most people focus on firepower, but the first deception often wins seconds, and seconds buy safety. The convoy carries a decoy package, visual cues, heat signatures, and false radio beacons that confuse both shooters and drones. We'll come back to it, because it's the pivot between being fixed and regaining initiative. With threat logic set, the technology starts to make sense. Each tool answers a specific failure point. Section 2. The technology stack: vehicles, sensors, decoys, and drones. The vehicles form the spine. A lead scout, a prime carrier, and a rear guardian define the convoy's center of gravity. Each is protected to different standards. The lead is agile, often lighter armor with run-flat tires and forward-looking sensors. It's the feeler and the battering ram. The prime carrier has the heaviest protection, integrated fire suppression, and sealed compartments. Its whole purpose is custody and survivability. The rear guardian covers the tail, denies flanking, and pushes mass when the convoy must surge. Mobility beats static defense. Run-flat systems and bead locks keep wheels on rims after puncture. Fire suppression plumbs the engine bay and wheel arches, limiting the effect of Molotovs or burning debris. Rapid ram bumpers give the lead and rear vehicles the ability to clear light obstacles without dismounts. It's not about winning a firefight, it's about keeping momentum. Under the skin sits an electronic architecture built for a bad day. Redundant radios across bands, hardened GPS with anti-spoofing, backed by inertial navigation so dead reckoning continues if GNSS dies under jamming. A convoy that loses satellite positioning still knows its heading, speed, and relative spacing. Data buses are isolated, with surge protection to resist crude electromagnetic interference. Perimeter sensors on the move extend awareness beyond the windscreen. Mast-mounted electro-optical and infrared cameras scan verges and overpasses, picking out heat and movement that the naked eye misses. Short-range automotive radar sweeps for objects pushed into the carriageway. Acoustic gunshot detection arrays triangulate origin within seconds, marking azimuths for suppression rather than guessing. Every sensor has a detection envelope and a blind spot. The trick is overlap, not reliance on a single feed. When the convoy halts, planned or forced, it can throw a temporary sterile zone in minutes. Rapid deployed trip sensors anchor off the vehicles, creating virtual tripwires. Magnetic anomaly probes notice a vehicle rolling into the perimeter. Passive infrared curtains catch a human crossing an approach lane. It's a pop-up security cordon, designed to function even with smoke in the air and limited line of sight. The counter-drone layer is now standard. Radio frequency detectors sniff control links and telemetry. Direction-finding plots bearings. Two vehicles provide a crude geolocation that's good enough to cue eyes and guns. Soft kill comes first. Protocol disruption, link denial, or forcing a return to home. When a drone ignores that and closes, hard kill is authorized. That may be 12-gauge frangible from a stabilized mount, or programmable airburst munitions in jurisdictions and conditions that allow it. In the UK, proportionality and risk to the public matter. The decision sits with the tactical lead. Decoy tactics are quiet but decisive. Visual doubles, panels and light patterns make a support vehicle resemble the carrier from certain angles. Heat signature spoofers sit near, not on, the carrier, drawing drones and thermal sights off target. False RF beacons mimic a payload tracking device, which matters because threat actors often hunt the most important signal. Draw the fire, buy seconds, then maneuver. It's like shifting a laser pointer off the real target. Crude, but it works. Smoke and obscurance provide the curtain. Fast deploy canisters generate thick cover in seconds. Multispectral smoke, engineered to defeat visible light, near infrared, and to a degree thermal contrast, degrades optics and drone cameras. It complicates friendly operations and air support, which is why comms discipline and pre-briefed arcs matter. You don't disappear, you just become a harder problem. Shot stopping and non-lethal options bridge the gap between standoff threat and crowd dynamics. Ballistic shields and window overlays allow a brief dismount under fire to clear a block or pull a casualty. Dazzlers and high-intensity lights disrupt aiming and drone optics without lethal force. If crowds are used as cover, riot control tools, sound projection, spray, shield lines are a last resort to create space without escalating. Weapons integration is restrained. General-purpose machine guns and 5.56 carbines are assigned arcs. Front, flank, rear. Vehicle-mounted ports allow controlled fire without exposing torsos. Controlled bursts suppress, they don't chase. The goal is to open a corridor, not prosecute a running battle across a civilian road network. Breach kits and mobility aids are the unglamorous winners. Hydraulic spreaders defeat chained gates and manufactured blocks. Rapid ram bumpers and push bars move light cars that break down at inconvenient angles. Deployable ramps help cross shallow ditches if pushed off the tarmac. Every second spent dismounted is a second the carrier is more vulnerable, so these tools are built for speed. Medical and firefighting capacity rides in every vehicle. Individual first aid kits, trauma kits, burn blankets and extinguishers sit within reach. The medical model is simple. Control catastrophic bleeding, maintain airways and get back inside armor. The carrier crew checks seals and integrity while others treat. Custody never leaves the top of the priority list. Power and redundancy underpin the lot. Isolated power buses prevent a single short from darkening the cabin. EMP-aware design principles harden the most critical systems, not because a nuclear detonation is likely, but because crude electromagnetic attack or solar events can degrade unprotected circuits. Communications must continue under duress, or the choreography breaks. Convoy comms discipline holds the picture together. Brevity codes compress events, contact reports directions, distances, and status colors. A single controller deconflicts arcs in smoke and stress, preventing blue on blue. It's dull when read on paper. Under fire, it's the difference between a coherent push and a mess of competing instincts. Now, the ride-along perspective. In the cabin, a sensor alarm pings. RF spike, low altitude. The acoustic array snaps an arc left, 2 shots, 280 meters. The controller's voice is calm. Contact left, drone high, roadblock ahead. Obscurants deploy with a thump. A heat decoy kicks on, the false beacon chirps, and the visual double eases into the kill zone. The lead makes the call, push. The bumper hits first, spreaders stand by, arcs lay down suppression, and the carrier glides through the cleared corridor. Inside, it's deliberate breathing and short words. Outside, technology is doing exactly what it was built to do. Section 3. The first 120 seconds, choreography of contact. Contact recognition comes in layers. A drone alert spikes RF first, then the acoustic system tags 2 shots left. The decision tree is immediate. Do we have space to maneuver, and is the prime carrier mobile? If yes, the bias is to punch. If no, if a credible VBI blocks ahead. The plan pivots to stopping, smoking, hardening, and clearing. The trigger is mobility. If the carrier has traction and the lead can create a corridor, the call is push. If a vehicle ahead shows heat in the boot, irregular ride height, or a visible initiator, that's treated as a potential VBI'd. The response is controlled stop and harden. Smoke deploys to break eyes on. Shields cover brief dismounts. The spreaders go to work. Rolls are fixed under fire. The lead isolates the threat axis and opens the lane. The rear seals the tail, denies flanking, and watches for secondary vehicles pushing in. The carrier either keeps rolling as the most protected mass, or anchors behind armor and builds a shell. Perimeter in motion doesn't stop thinking. Sensors keep plotting shooters and drones. Counter-drone starts with soft kill, shifting to hard kill only if closing distance. Multispectral smoke buys angles without blinding the controller. Pre-briefed arcs stop friendly fire in the haze. Decoys now earn their keep. The heat decoy warms up, the RF beacon goes loud, and a visual double takes the be the carrier posture. Drones drift to the wrong target. Shooters hesitate for a beat. That beat is used for maneuver. Breach and push are blunt but contained. Light obstacles get rammed. Manufactured blocks get spreaders. Weapons deliver controlled suppression to open a corridor, not to chase contacts down side streets. The carrier moves through the gap at steady speed. No panic acceleration, no stall. Interop cascades in parallel. CNC command tasks local police for armed response, roads policing, and an RVP. A rolling, sterile corridor is set up ahead. The ride-along moment is quiet inside. A calm contact report, the thump of smoke, the shove through, then a quick seal check and a long exhale. Section 4. Post-contact control, containment, evidence, and public interface. Scene control transfers cleanly. Local police take crime scene primacy. CNC holds cargo security and officer accountability. Evidence is captured. Dash data, sensor logs, body-worn video, under chain of custody. Public safety follows. Cordons, media facts, and misinformation counter. Seals and radiation checks confirm integrity. Command decides to continue the route or divert. Conclusion. The single takeaway and next step. Layered technology only matters when it drives simple, repeatable decisions under stress. If this helped clarify how CNC convoys survive first contact, subscribe, then watch the deep dive on base security systems to see how movement starts secure before ever touching the road.